Throughout the 2010 season on the Chicago Huddle, we've introduced you to Lucas Oil extreme fans who show their Bears fandom in their own unique way. This week we'll meet a guy who's an unofficial Bears historian doing his part to keep fans educated. But first, let's head back to Chili's Grill and Bar in Vernon Hills, where Dan Jiggets, Anthony Adams, and Nick Roach talk about the field conditions during last Sunday's game.
All right, well, it's time now for us to toss it over to April Rose. She's with an extreme fan. Check this one out.
Outrageous, radical, over the top. April Rose introduces the world to Lucas Oil's most extreme fans.
I'm with this week's extreme fan, Roy Taylor. Roy, you have an incredible website that you started in 2000. Tell me a little about it.
2000, I had the opportunity to design a website for a class I was taking at the time, and the first thing I thought of, I did just think of any idea to do a website, and I always thought that if I had the opportunity to do a website, it would be on Bears history, because I've been interested in it since I was 8 years old. And I basically took my memories of the last 32 or 3 years now and created BearsHistory.com, and it's branched out.
And you got that domain name, which is surprising. You got
Back
lucky
then
with
it was
that.
easier to get domain names than it is now.
So how do you make money off the site, or is it just kind of a fun, not-for-profit thing?
It's really not for profit. I mean,
Not yet? No.
In the last few years, I've been able to put some ads up there, which basically just pays for what it costs to have it hosted, but it's just for the fun of it, and it led to being able to write a book, which was a great thing. All the little things that I remembered from the Bears that I think a lot of people might not remember, I put out there. There's a section every year of the history from when I started watching the Bears in 1979 to now. There's a page for each year and really detailed information that you can't find anywhere else. So that's what I like about that.
Do you ever maybe mispost any dates and you have people writing you in to change
I have
it?
just a few, but I have to say I'm pretty confident. And now, ask me if I remember things that I should remember. I probably don't, but in the little details about the Bears, I seem to keep those up here somehow.
So how much time do you spend on this website away from your day job on this site?
You know, a lot of what's out there was done in the very beginning. It was all written in the very beginning, and now I'm adding on to things, but it's kind of just out there now. I also have a blog, though, which is where every day I try to go out there and just write, and I have followers from all over the world that read the blog every day, which is kind of cool. I didn't know there were so many Bears fans in France and England, but there are.
All right, once again, what's your website?
www.bearshistory.com and www.chicagobearsweblog.com.
All right, so make sure you find him on there. Now, there's a little more that makes Roy an extreme fan, and we'll show you the rest of that on next week's show. Last week on the Chicago Huddle, we introduced you to a Lucas Oil extreme fan named Roy Taylor, who owns and operates the non-for-profit Bears historical website, BearsHistory.com. While that alone qualifies him as an extreme fan, what makes him more of an extreme fan is what hangs on his walls inside his home. We'll visit with Roy once again coming up, but first, the fans in the audience have some questions for Chris and Johnny at Chili's Grill and Bar in Vernon Hills. Dan?
All right, now it's time for us to toss it over to April Rose. She's got our extreme fan report. She's with a gentleman named Roy Taylor.
Outrageous, radical, over the top. April Rose introduces the world to Lucas Oil's most extreme fans.
So last week's extreme fan was Roy Taylor. We had your website highlighted on there, BearsHistory.com. This week we're checking out your basement, which makes you an even more extreme fan. Tell me a little bit about it.
When we moved to this house, I'd collected the memorabilia for years and years and years and never had anywhere to put it up. So one of the things I looked for in a house was an unfinished basement that we would be able to finish and I would be able to hang all this stuff up at. So luckily we had the perfect place to do it.
So what's your favorite part of your basement?
You know, this is the perfect place to host Bears game parties. We had our 2007 Super Bowl party after the 2006 season, I have to point out. And I still have my indentations in the wall up there when Devin Hester ran the opening kickoff back and I punched the ceiling 12 times thinking we were going to win the game, which we didn't.
Yeah. Did you have to repair that?
Nope, that's there for posterity.
Yeah, so we can take a look at it?
Yes.
What's your favorite framed piece of art or article on the wall?
You know, Brian Piccolo is my favorite Bear of all time. He's a running back that passed away when he was 26 years old with cancer, and I have one of his throwback jerseys with a framed photo of him, and he's the epitome of what a person and a Bears player should be. I have the Black and Blues Brothers photo that I'm missing one key autograph from Mark Bortz. If you're out there, please let me know. And team posters, a lot of Walter Payton stuff. Walter Payton was a big part of me growing up watching the Bears. He was the only part of the Chicago Bears when I was growing up, so he's always been one of my favorites as well.
So what is your family, what's the wife think about turning this into the man cave?
I'm very fortunate to have a wife that would let me turn the entire lower half of the basement into Bears. I told her she could have everything upstairs. There isn't one thing I've hung up upstairs, but this is all. And she likes it, too. She actually likes how it turned out.
So the wife's a Bears fan?
Absolutely.
The kids are Bears fans?
Yes.
What's missing in the basement?
What's missing in the basement is another Super Bowl party.
How do you think they look?
You know, a lot better than I thought they would this year.
Yeah.
A lot better than I thought they would. It's been fun, but it's been hard for me to appreciate it because I'm just afraid every week what's going to happen, but you have to really admire what the 2010 Bears have done.
Well, you're a true Chicago fan. That's it for this week's Extreme Fan on the Chicago Huddle.
Hey, Chicago Huddle fans, were you at the game last weekend? If so, share your game day experience with us. Send pictures of you from the game or the fun you had tailgating beforehand to chihuddle@gmail.com. Maybe we'll show your pictures on our next TV show or on our Chicago Huddle Facebook page. Want to follow us on Twitter? Just look up Chicago Huddle and stay tuned in.